Xin chào everybody, it's your boy Gunpla, and as you can see, winter has already came to Finland. So dark and gloomy, it makes me wanna have a crippling depression. Which is why, in order to reignite our spirit and give us motivation, today we're gonna have a journey down the memory lane and review this model kit right here. The Plaiobot Gurren Lagann. This is model kit from a company called Sentinel. It was released this year on a limited release for the price of 4,950 yen, which is roughly around $50. If you are interested in getting this model kit right now, and more importantly, if you are living in Europe, you can do so by visiting hobbysearch.com, as this model kit has been sold out pretty much everywhere else. The titular model kit in question is from the show THICC Gurren Lagann, a show featuring cool robot fight, break plot, and motivational speeches. I've watched the show when I was 13 years old and hold very special place in my heart. And my heart has been closing up cold and dark with all the bad things that has happened in the world in 2020. So today, not only we will see that this model kit lived up to the show reputation, we will also be lifting up our spirit and motivation by cooking a red dish using motivation boosting ingredient that I found on the internet to pair it up with. I also have very important message to share with everyone, so make sure to stay tuned with me until the very end. And while you are at it, make sure to slap the like button, hit that subscribe button and bell icon for notification on all of my future content. We are currently right now having 69 subscribers. Nice. So let's aim to get that to 100 subscribers at the end of the year. And without further ado, I think we can start by taking a look at the content of the box. You will have total of 22 runners consisting of 3 colors: black, gunmetal, and red. Plastic quality here is top notch. The parts have nice gloss injection to give everything a shiny look. Some of these parts are undergated as well, but I will get to it later. I don't pretend to speak localized language, but I am sure that this moon rune here spelled out Gurren Lagann. We also have this here pre-painted part, which is very nice, as some of the details can be hard to paint for beginner. We also have huge row of sticker sheet, but I throw it away in the trash so fast, we can't even afford to have B-roll for it. Finally here, we have this manual, and it is a blessing that everything is colored, because some of these steps can be confusing if it was in the usual black and white. Overall, I am happy with what I get out of the box, and the unboxing process feels to me like opening up high quality €20 salmon for the first time, which is completely worth it because the final product is completely mesmerizing. Size-wise, it is a tad bit taller than that of a normal size HG Gundam, but a bit smaller than that of a Kotobukiya frame arm kit. Design itself is not completely anime accurate to that of the original Gurren Lagann designs, while the iconic Samurai-esque super robot silhouette is kept intact. The design has been upgraded with tons of mechanical details, panel line, and updated proportion to give it a more realistic form. However, that is not to say that the new redesign is flawless. I don't particularly like the bulk that is given to the lower body. It gives me this feeling that this Gurren Lagann had went through intense leg squat at the gym, something me and my friend has been neglecting often. Putting our questionable delegation to fit it aside, I guess we can talk about the painting and customization that I have given to the kit. I went above and beyond the Call of Duty and give some area of the kit different shade of red using a mixture of lead belcher and Mesviton red from Citadel paint. You want to approach it the same way as seasoning the salmon, covering enough area but not too much with the salt and pepper. And even though this is white people recipe, because we want to have flavor, we will cheat a bit by seasoning the fish with the MSG. If you are wondering how I make this red cape here on the side of the skirt, I simply just cut up pieces of my old red shirt and put it on there. The side skirt and the poltron on the shoulder are among the many areas of the kit that you will have to use the included sticker on for the color accuracy. I decided to go over them with my silver Gundam marker and this here Auric Armor gold paint instead to give it a more spice, because sometimes the more flavor you include in your recipe, the better tasting it will get. Let's take a look at these here flame effect that I had personally hand painted on. This particular area took me at least half a day using many thin layers of yellow and red paint stacked on top of each other for this final result. It's like what my black friend Tyrone always say, spitting the hot fire. Make sure that even though you spit hot fire on the paint, you have to keep the heat to medium or medium high when you cook the salmon. You don't want to overwork your meat by giving it a good old rub too much. Because salmon is a very delicate piece of meat that can fall apart or easily burn should you not be careful. And be careful you should, because there are a lot of things that you need to be aware that is very critical to the overall building process of this model kit. First of all, let's talk about the seam lines. While majority of them can be found in the back of the kit, some of these lines here, like the one running halfway across the upper arm and forearm, are unacceptable. So I suggest removing them. Make sure to be very patient with this process. The same amount of patience is necessary as we will add a half cup of butter and our garlic into the salmon pan. We want to baste our salmon with the garlic butter sauce so that all the flavor will sit into the meat. The second thing I want to talk about is the nub mark removal. While some parts are undergated and completely nub free, some area has very big and visible nubs that will require you to take care of them. It left a very sour, lemony taste in my mouth. And remember what the Western invader always say, when life gives you lemon, you turn them into lime instead. Cut them in half just like this and add in our lime juice into our pan. Let's move back to talking about the third and biggest problem that you will encounter while working on this kit. And that is the fact that every single joint in this kit, be it a back or pole joint, will require a bit of sanding before putting the kit together. While I always welcome model kits that doesn't use polycarb in their construction, not all kits are made equal. I mean, look at this stiffness. I've already sanded down the good amount of the pack here on the shoulder, but just look at how stiff it is when I try to move it around. It sure will hinder the articulation of this kit. And before we talk about articulation, let's just chop up our kale and spinach and our small avocado. You can do whatever you want with these vegetables. I decided to saute them with the butter just to add more flavor to the final dish. This recipe here is so white, I'm willing to bet that the next ingredient is brown rice. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't even brown rice. This is the Uncle Ben bag of rice. Who could have given me such a horrible thing?
It is I, Quilo!
Quilo! I should have known that it was you all along.
That's right, Chef. Now you have no choice but to cook the rice just the way us Westerns intended, making it taste extremely bland.
Not so fast right there, Quilo. I know that this would have happened. That is why I believe in me. Who believe in my cameraman?
Hi.
Who believe in my fan? Who believe in me? That I have this here, bag of round rice, prepared.
Foiled again. But mark my words, Chef. This won't be the last time you see me.
Cooking the round rice is as simple as cooking the normal rice, but you have to use just a tad bit more water. Putting the rice and all the necessary water into my trusty old and butter rice cooker and set it to cook. While the rice is cooking, let us quickly run through the articulation, which I will only mention the more important aspect because this video is already 3 hours long. The articulation of everything from the top up is amazing. The ab crunch, side to side, and backward bend is possible due to the torso having 2 ball joints inside. You can bend it all the way to the back to expose the secondary row of teeth and more mechanical details. The whole arm shift upward and the shoulder patrons can move out of the way to allow for easy 360 rotation. There are 2 different joints in the elbow and forearm that work together to create this amazing elbow bend with the armor separation. The only con is the leg butterfly joint to shift the arm forward, allowing for easier cross-arm pose. The lower body does have decent articulation, but the majority of it is limited by this here side skirt, which can pop out very easily with a flick of the wrist. Without the side skirt, You can swing the leg and split it really far to the side. The knee bend is amazing, and even featuring real grade or masteric level of armor separation. The pivot on the feet is nice, and you can even ship it forward, just like the RX-78-2 Beyond Lobo. Overall, the articulation is almost perfect for a kit at this price range. It is on par, if not better than the RX-78-2 Beyond Robo. A kit which already have very nice articulation, while it can be better with the addition of a butterfly joint and better connection and articulation for the side skirt. I don't really think that is necessary. You will find satisfaction knowing that this kit can pull up a lot of dynamic poses even with the mentioned setback. You can pull up the more iconic poses from the series just by incorporating the many different hands options and accessories that this kit had. So as long as you sand down the peg and connection so that everything is not as stiff and thick as a fat acceptance activist, you can feel free to pose to your heart content. All that talking is making me a bit thirsty, so let us make ourselves a nice smoothie to pair up with our dish. You can use fresh berry for this part, but since we are in a hurry, I think frozen berry will do just fine. Putting all of that into our blender, adding some milk and blend everything together. The spinning motion of the blender kind of remind me of something. Alright, the iconic drills that the Gurren Lagann has, you get 2 of these in fact. One smaller one and one bigger one. They are attached to the hand like so through a bow joint, and they look great. Despite having huge and visible seams line, these are the definitive weapons for the Gurren Lagann, and the model kit cannot be complete without them. Whether it be for creating cool battle poses or just for having impressive display piece, you will certainly get a lot of use out of these 2 drills. But to be honest, I kinda prefer for there to be a third bigger drill that the Gurren Lagann has in the show when it performs the ultimate attack. But I guess we can improvise just a tad bit.
Giga! Drill! Really cool!
And then we have this small drill right here, which can be attached to these holes on the wrist. They add more posing option for the model kit and is always welcome. However, you cannot attach the bigger drills with these small drill attached, so you have to do a mismatch and make a choice between them. And on the topic of the wrist, we do have this optional one that doesn't have holes on them, as well as this extra unpainted face here. They are nice bonus, but the process of swapping them around is not that worth, to be honest. As for the optional hands, they are mostly for recreating iconic pose from the show. We have here 2 closed fists, 2 dynamic open hand, 2 pointing the finger at the sky hand for the cool pose I showed earlier, and finally these 2 weapon holding hands, which are used for holding these sunglasses. Blade?
Ah, my only weakness.
What? They look great in the hand, but as weapon, I think they are too weird for my taste. You can pull up a plethora of cool poses with them, but I think the poses that you can do with the drills are gonna be much more cooler. Maybe perhaps you can mix and match both of them. The possibilities are endless here. And finally, we have this here wing packback, which have a rather limited articulation. It can be attached and clip it onto the pack of the Gurren Lagann just like this. While it does add more coolness to the overall design of the kit, I don't really like it that much. Firstly, it's attached to the kit so tightly that you will need to break a sweat just to pull it up. And the fact that there are a lot of sharp edge and pointy bits from the drills here doesn't help either. You will draw blood one way or another if you are not careful with this packback. Secondly, it gives too much unnecessary back weight to the kit because of how huge it is. And while you can stand up the kit with it attached, an action base is definitely required. Luckily, engineering of the backpack is thoughtful in a way that the wing will not hinder any articulation of the arm and upper body, so it is a nice plus in my book. Overall, I think the accessories are all great and they add a ton of playability to the kit. You will have a lot of fun time trying to recreate poses from the anime, and will definitely have a blast decking out the Gurren Lagann with all of its available weapons. Plating up the plate here with our raw rice, the salad, and our beautifully cooked salmon. Pat yourself on the back for the job well done and appreciate your newfound motivation, only to then realize that you cannot eat fish and have to give this to your friend instead. and pour yourself a drink as we move on to the final rating and evaluation of the model kit. Overall, I think that this kit is an amazing and must-buy kit for the plastic model builder and fan of Gurren Lagann in general. It is not beginner-friendly at all, the design and coloring is amazing, and the fun with posing with the weapons are limitless. There are some elements from this kit here that prevent it from getting the perfect score, but I think there is no second guessing. This kit is a 9 out of 10 with the golden Jeb star of approval. This is the kit that will truly pierce the heaven.
Ignorance is such a frightening thing. You might believe yourselves to be fighting on the side of righteousness, but I am the one who is truly protecting this world. It is I, Lord Genome, who is the ultimate guardian of humanity.
Mia, Yoko, Rossio, Ron, Kitan, Dayaka. Every member of Team Daiguren believes in me. The me that my bro believed in. The me that I believe in isn't ever gonna lose to the likes of you!
走り出した思いが今でもこの胸は確かに生きてるから
How utterly foolish!
What?
Hope is meaningless, chef boy. The status quo will never change. This culinary world is destined to be run over by Western culinary experts, where everything will be bland, flavorless mush.
Not yet. I cannot give up just yet. I will never give up. I believe in myself. My MSG will pierce the heaven.
No! Impossible! MSG! My utter one and only weakness!
It's like what you always said, isn't it, Simon? The hero always stands tall at the end. And that is it for my review of the Plaiobot Gurren Lagann. I thank you all for watching it me till this very point, and I am grateful for being given the opportunity to entertain you all. For all who came for the model kit and the food, you can freely leave now, and I hope you all have a nice day. But for those who are willing to just stay with me a bit more, then I do apologize for just taking a little bit more of your time, and excuse me for breaking character. As I previously mentioned before during the whole review, Gurren Lagann is a very special show to me because I used to watch it when I was young with my younger brother during our summer break. Back then, even though we don't really know that much English, the one thing that stayed with us is that the fact that the main protagonist Simon never backed out from a fight, no matter how hard the circumstance. He was our idol among the likes of Goku, Naruto, and great teacher Onizuka. Sadly, my younger brother passed away years ago due to lymphoma, but never once did he give up his fight against it. He fought to the very end against his cancer, just like how Simon did in the show, and that memory will never leave me for as long as I live. And I want to dedicate this video to my younger brother, and I want to honor his memory by sharing this here message with everyone, which is the same message that Simon taught me when I was younger. Never give up. Always believe in yourself that you can do everything. Always find motivation to push back through every hardship you face, no matter how difficult it is. Always remind yourself every single day, you can do it. I would like to offer my sincere thanks to a fellow friend and content creator, Lionel Build. He has an amazing cinematic gunpla build channel, and you can check out his channel, link in the description. Thank you, Leo. I couldn't make this video and put 200% of my effort into it without your advice and help, and I hope you all the very best. To my dear viewer, I want you all to find the inspiration, the drive to push yourself forward, as well as to overcome any obstacles set in your way. Make sure to let everyone you know that you believe in them as much as you believe in yourself, as we will push through this dark time and move to a brighter future with more hope and determination, no matter how much hardship come in our way. And as always, I hope you all have a nice day. Build yourself some model kit, cook yourself a meal to pair it up with, and I will see you all next time.